Much better. Let's see. Can everybody hear me? Anybody? Hello? 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Anybody can hear me? Just chat in the window. Let's see. The microphone is on. And it's on over here. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Can anybody hear me? Yep. Yes? No? Maybe? I see some likes. Should I take it as the fact that you can hear me? Hi, Eva. Eva, can you hear me? Thank you for the greetings. Okay, yes. Okay, I got the first one. It's in Polish, but yes, now I know you can hear me. Thank you very much, guys. Welcome. Good afternoon, good evening. For those of you who are in Europe, almost good night. In any case, welcome aboard Poly again. We are hopefully less than 24 hours before leaving on our big transat, the 5,000-mile trip to Poland, non-stop trip to Poland. It's by far the longest thing I've done non-stop for sure, and the longest trip for this boat probably. So we've been preparing quite a bit for the last few months slowly, for the last few weeks a lot faster, and for the last few days really heavily with the entire complement of crew on board. We've got a whole bunch of friends here who are sailing with us. They've been helping me quite a bit. It's been really nice working not just alone, because alone nothing goes fast, but now there's 6 of us going across. And thank you. I'm sure we'll have a great journey. Okay, let me introduce the crew. Let's start with the guy that's right next to me. There he is. Jacek, don't hide.
Hello,
welcome
on board.
This is Jacek. He's probably the most experienced guy on this crew. He was on the entry, Polish entry to Sydney Hobart, and they actually made it. The second time around, they actually made it to race, and they took a 12th place out of what, 150?
150 yachts.
Yeah, so that's definitely commendable. So I got that kind of guy to help me out, so I'm really happy. And we've known each other for more than a decade, because the way we met was actually to cross the Atlantic the first time, for me at least.
Yes.
So that was cool. So why the hell are you here?
For me, it's the second cross Atlantic and second with Bartek.
So thank you, Jacek, for being here, and thank you for trusting me. Who's next? Oh, our topless guy.
Oh, hello.
Peter.
Hi.
Why are you here?
To cross the ocean.
Excellent. How can I thank you for trusting me, for getting over here?
Well, I've been watching you guys for a while, so I figured you know what you're doing.
We'll see that in about 5,000 miles, right?
We'll see. Yeah. I'm sure we're gonna get there somehow.
Yeah. The question is only when, right? And
I'm okay with that.
So you've been sailing a little bit inshore, right?
Yes, and now I plan on sailing offshore, and this is the best way to actually get into it. So yeah.
Cool. I hope it still remains the best for us after we cross.
I'm sure it is.
Thanks, Peter.
Thank you.
The most important part of the crew, Anya.
Hi, everyone.
She is responsible for keeping us alive when it comes to food, when it comes to supplies. That doesn't mean she's going to cook all the time, but she's the chief chef. Chief chef.
Hello,
Chief
everyone.
chef. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
So what made you make this crazy decision? You still don't know. Okay, we'll ask you the same question in Gdańsk. Maybe it will be a more truthful answer in that case.
Okay.
She wants to kick me really hard. Thank you, Anya.
Thank you.
And we have our Czech entry into the Polish crew,
Yes.
Robert.
Yes, that's me.
Ahoy!
Ahoj všichni.
We have actually a lot of Czech friends observing us as well. Great. Thanks to our tantric groups, mostly. So, how did you find out and how did you make your decision?
I was looking for a retreat and I was thinking about sailing. And just when I looked up Bartek's page, because I met him on a workshop in Berlin a couple of years ago, I was like startled by the coincidence because I was just at a workshop with David Martin, whose birthday is 24th of April. And then I see on Bartek's page that he's starting sailing from San Martin on April 24th. So I was like, this is a sign. So I'm here because I need to unplug, get disconnected from all the devices and the things that you're watching us at now, and have some adventure. Yeah.
Cool. So there's no better retreat than going across the ocean.
There's no better. I don't know a better retreat because
me too. I agree.
as long as you're on shore, you always find a way to get connected.
To get connected
to something.
Yep. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Děkuji.
To se stalo. Ciao všichni.
Pavel, hello.
Hello.
Pavel is probably the most experienced in heavy weather sailing because he sails Baltic and North Sea, which is probably the hardest of them all because we really like warm seas. So Pavel,
Yes,
how did you find out? How did you make a decision? Pavel doesn't speak very good English, so
yes.
I just it's okay. I just want to tell you guys that this is.
I'm here because I very like sailing, big sailing. Yes.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm being part of your big sailing. And this is Pavel's 50th birthday gift, so I'm hoping that this is going to be a really memorable.
Yes.
Thank you, Pavel, for trusting us.
Thank you.
Or me, I should say. All right, guys. So I'm going to turn back the camera. The boat is pretty much ready. We got a few last little things, cosmetics to do. What I do want to tell you about is a bit of a discussion on how we're going to get there. So I'm going to switch the camera one more time, install it on my desk, and I'm going to try to relay the... sorry for the little turbulence here. I'm going to try to relay the screen from my weather predictions. Okay, there we go. So now you have the main navigation screen for us, plus terminal from Predict Wind. I'm going to try to zoom in a bit, just a bit. Give me a sec. Okay. Yeah, 1 month rehab from internet, exactly. All right, I'm going to make just one more adjustment here so that you guys can see what's going on. Okay, for those of you who don't get the orientation here, this is South America, this is Caribbean, this is North America, this is Europe, and this is Poland right here. So the way in general we're going to go is going to go towards Bermuda, north. Let me take a pointer here, maybe you'll have a better idea. So we're going to go towards Bermuda, straight up north, more or less, maybe a little left, maybe a little right, depending on what the situation is going to happen. I'm going to tell you that a little bit more in a second. And then turn right, and once we're past 40 north, we're going to turn right and try to hook onto the prevailing westerly winds and go across, not going too far north so that we don't get all those crazy lows on top of us. As long as we're on the south side of a low, see you have a low over here, as long as we're on the south side of a low, we're happy because we get the wind behind us, right? So even if it's pretty strong, it should be okay. Should be good sailing. So we're probably somewhere around here, we're going to start looking for a way to get up there without getting hit too hard. And so we're going to try to find a way between two lows to get up there into the English Channel. Then between UK and France and Holland, all the way into the Danish Straits, between Norway and Sweden and Denmark, and down to Baltic Sea, and eventually along the Polish coast, straight east to Gdańsk. So that all in total is just over 5,000 miles. If we end up doing some turns left and right, for weather, then obviously it's going to be a little bit more, but that's the idea. So over 5,000 miles, over 9,000 kilometers, however you like it. As you see, we're using Predict Wind for our weather forecast. It's got weather forecast plus our routing based on the performance of our trimaran. So it gives us good suggestions according to each weather model. Each one of those colors is a different weather model that gives us suggestions on how we can proceed in the fastest, most optimized route for our boat and for any given weather at the moment. As you see, in general, it follows my idea, which is to go towards Bermuda first and then eventually start turning right. Whether we're going to go that much far north, I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see that. It could be risky if we're gonna end up on the north side of a low. Like let's see here. You see here we could be facing opposite winds. So, but in the end, you could be even higher up north and actually catch some westerly flow over here. So we'll see. Looking at the forecast more than 5-7 days ahead is almost impossible, and there's no point. So we're just looking at about 3-4 days ahead to concentrate on this part. And the way it's looking right now is tomorrow, Thursday. If we go on Thursday, it's looking the best, because if we go too early, we don't have a good wind going this way. If we go later, let me turn the timeline back to today, and then I'm going to make a Thursday out of it. Okay, there's a Thursday. And the big deal is this. If we went too early, we wouldn't have good winds over here. If we go too late, see what happens? See, this is all fine now. Right now, we have a flow from the east or southeast or even south over here, which is perfect. It gets us nice and clean into the 30s and 40s, where we finally catch the westerly winds. However, if we wait too long over the weekend, situation does change radically, and it eventually fills in with light air over here with a high. So we don't want to wait too long, because we actually have about 800 miles to make before we get 8 to 1,000 miles to get across to the clean westerly flow. Again, this is going to be our crucial tool. Another tool, other than Predict Wind, we're going to be using, actually it turns out Garmin wants to send us a little gift, actually already sent us a little gift. It's the they call it Naviga. It's a standalone handheld device that combines navigation with weather and communication via inReach, via Iridium satellites. So we have Iridium Go here, through which we feed Predict Wind, and thank you Predict Wind for the satellite connection as well, because Predict Wind was nice enough to get us the connection for the next 3 months as well, aside from the weather charts and analysis. And thank you to Naviga, which we're hoping to pick up tomorrow because it's still in FedEx. And as soon as we pick it up, we're on our way. So let's see if there's any questions. Let's see. Enjoy the trip. Of course we will. Thank you, guys. A 1 month rehab. Sure. My beautiful family is doing well. They made it to Poland, no problem. They flew from St. Martin to Paris, and then from Paris to Krakow. And then my in-laws picked them up in Krakow at the airport, so now they're home with grandparents, with kids' grandparents and Anya's parents. So that's good. Thank you, Cork. Thanks, Patricia. All right, anybody's got any questions? Because if not, we're gonna lift the anchor and go back to Marigot, which is this place in St. Martin that has all the good things, all the supplies and everything right next door, so we can still buy a few things for the last fresh supplies for the kitchen and a few things for the boat, and then off we go, and then we can pick up the FedEx as well. This is the big thing. The question is, how much time do you predict to make the crossing? It's I'm trying not to make too accurate of predictions because our speed varies greatly depending on the wind speed and the wind direction. As much as our speed could be our VMC, velocity made good, could be as much as 3 times depending on whether we're tacking against a wind or we're going with broad reach, which is quartering tailwind. Which is our fastest course, which could be close to 300 miles a day on the best day. So yeah, so it could be anywhere between 4 weeks all the way to like the most pessimistic version is 6 weeks. All right, any other questions? Going once, going twice. Will we be stopping in Azores? Most likely not. Right now we're planning a non-stop trip, mostly because we don't want to get into any kind of issues with like clearing in and out because of the COVID and tests and stuff like that. So we like to keep it simple. We're hoping that in Poland they will just simply let us in simply because we've been at sea for 6 weeks, so there's no chance of contracting anything. If everybody's been healthy the whole time, then obviously whatever we may have caught on the way is, there is no way to catch anything on the way, so whatever somebody brought on board is no longer an issue. So that's why we're trying to keep it simple that way. Will we be back down to warmer weather? Yes, we will, for sure. The question is whether we're going to be down in the Mediterranean, because that's our plan A for the next winter and the next 1.5 season. That's assuming things are okay with all the travel restrictions. And if they're not, then we just might come back to the Caribbean. Either way, we're definitely heading south from Poland. The question was, will we use AIS? We will, but you cannot see it more than 100 to maximum 200 miles offshore because that is dependent on radar coverage. So the only way you can see us real time is on our own predict wind position chart, which we will share with all our patrons and patronites and anybody who's supporting this whole mission. And you're most welcome to join. Otherwise, Anya will do a periodic update with a screenshot of where we are every 2-3 days or so in public media. Let's see. What other questions do we have? Are the currents strong? The currents are decent, so it does pay to pay attention to them. Obviously, going straight from here to the east would make absolutely no sense because we would be bucking the headwind and the head current. So we try to get up to the 30s and 40s in order to catch the westerly flow, which means prevailing winds from the west and the prevailing current from the west. All right, guys. Well, I see no other questions other than wishes of good trip, which I thank you very much for. Again, you're most welcome to our Loveboat page, where we're going to be sharing live tracking. And again, we'd like to thank Garmin and Predict Wind for supporting this whole event. And if there is no more questions, I will disconnect and I will most likely see you live. Oh wait, there's one more question. Is there going to be an option to join us if we come back to the warmer waters? Yes, there will be, as usual. And there's always space for some fans on board, which we now have 4 of them on board, 3 or 5 of them on board. So it's nice to have new friends, spend some time, some quality disconnect time on the boat. Any other questions, guys? Going once? Yeah, I don't want to join in colder water. I don't blame you at all. Yeah, we're kind of looking at the temperature chart. Just for shits and giggles, I'll show you. If you look at the temperature chart, look what happens. About halfway through the trip, we're down to about 15 degrees Celsius, and then it only gets colder and colder. So yeah, so we're only hoping we're slow enough for summer to catch up with us, you know, on the way back. All right, any other questions? Roger, thank you for joining. Very nice. We'll definitely. Anya is now the administrator, so she'll definitely join. Put you into a Love Boat group. Thank you, Roger. Any other questions? Going once, going twice, going thrice. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining today, and again, keep an eye on us, and I will join you live on the other side of the ocean. And if things happen well, then maybe during one of the lives that Anya is going to be doing every Monday, maybe I'll try to at least chime in for a few minutes via satellite phone. Otherwise, thanks very much for all the wishes. Thanks for your support, and we'll see ya. Cheers.